Hey Cancer, this is Tyler with Tyler's Dragon Tarot. Thank you for being here. I'm doing these readings a little differently than usual. I'm going to end it with a Vimeo extended reading, so I might end it, probably use this messenger deck over here, and get some oracle cards that will lead into an extended reading. So if this reading resonates and you want to check it out, I appreciate it very much. But I also just appreciate you clicking on my video. And if you guys left a like, subscribe, comment, and all that, that would make my day. It really would. So this isn't how I've been setting up the other readings, so I'm probably going to get into it in a different way. But I was just kind of meditating, trying to get into the spirit, because you're the first sign I'm doing today. And so out of this deck, they have little signs too. And I was looking at the Chariot, because that's a Cancer card, and the Crab of Waters, Cancer. And I was just like, there is a lot of anxiety here. Why is there so much anxiety? And then we got the Scorpion of Waters and One of Water here. Like, it looks like she's trying to offer her heart. Still an attachment on it, though. It's like, or you're worried that the Scorpion is still attached to someone else, so is your offer gonna even be valid to them? And the Scorpion that is the Scorpio. Could be someone with Scorpio in their chart. It could just be someone who is still really hanging on to this, or you're worried that they're hanging on to it, and you're worried that they're just going to reject your offer, and they're going to reject it harshly. Like, you kind of got that anxiety. And I think that's why when I could not find this Crab of Waters. I've been trying just to meditate on the zodiac card of the deck and not the one that represents the sign. And I could not find it until I found this Chariot. And this Chariot, to me, speaks of, okay, yes, it's a chariot, but this is a chariot that isn't moving yet. So it's like, okay, well, I'm going to start moving if you don't. So it's like, honestly, I hate to say it, but it's like, your anxiety might be relieved if you just, okay, no, that's not what it is. Your anxiety is because you feel stagnant. You're like, what is this? Are we moving forward? Do I move forward without you? There's your anxiety. You want to move forward, but you don't know how to move forward, pretty much. That's basically what I'm getting off of that. I think I'm going to use these cards during this reading because obviously they wanted to talk to you. But I've been starting the readings off with this deck, trying to get your central thing. I mean, I think I basically just got it, but just in case that didn't resonate and that was just a specific message for some Cancers, let's go ahead and get a different card. You know, I've been drawing three. Your reading's just completely different, Cancer. I've been drawing three of these, and I feel like I need to draw a fourth for you for some reason. It's up here. Okay, so at the bottom, we got the Luna Dragon, which is the moon, which is a Cancerian card. It's also Pisces, but I think it's mainly Cancer. So I just thought of how the full moon is what turns the tides here. So it's like there's a turning. I literally heard there's a turning of tides. So a turning of tides, a revelation here. Something. There's a change that needs to happen, and it's gonna happen basically. So with this card, power. You feel powerless in this situation or in a situation. This is also an Aries card. So you could be dealing with an Aries or, like I said earlier, yet there was a Scorpio on the board. Aries and Scorpio both ruled by Mars. So you could just be dealing with an aggressive person. Okay, so you could be dealing with an aggressive person. What am I trying to say? I'm getting too much of, and I'm getting jumbled. It's not that they're aggressive, it's that they're defensive. So they come off aggressive, but they're defensive because they've been hurt before. And like I said with that other card, I should have left those cards out because there's still an attachment on them. They're still hurting, they're still healing. And I almost get the sense off of this card. I do. I don't know why I said almost. That even though they're just defending themselves, they kind of beat themselves up too because they say, why did you do that? That was unnecessary. You just hurt them for no reason. Now, I'm not justifying their actions in any way. If someone treats you bad, they treat you bad. You shouldn't have to put up with that. But I'm also on the side of trying to heal, so there's also the side of trying to open communication with this. And if it doesn't work, don't break your back trying to help. Okay? I gotta be real careful with this because this is how nice people get screwed over. Because they try to help and then they get used. They get used too much. They get hurt too much because of a situation like that. So if you feel like, I can't blame you if you feel like walking away. I can't blame you if you feel like helping. That's ultimately up to you. I'm just kind of saying what's on the board here. They need to heal, though. They need to heal. So even if it's spending less time with them and then giving them their space, if that's what they need, don't cling. Because I'm not trying to call y'all out. Like, people like to spend time with people, but cancers are known for being a little clingy. But I can't even say nothing. Once I like somebody, I cling a little bit, So, the Imperial Dragon. We got this Sun card up top. That is a Leo, but also, I was just thinking, it goes from 4 to 8. It kind of feels like these two go together. Like, they get over their fears. They get past everything, and they come out on top. They come out strong, noble. They come out better than before. Or you do. Either way. Or you do. If you're the one who's defensive, if you're the one who's worried, once the fears are conquered, here they're on top of like an ugly little rock, dry, very red. Here, this feels like a card of manifestation to me. This card looks prettier. This card it's even playful, like he's holding a snowball. It's playful instead of defensive. So it's back to a fun energy. And with these two being aligned, that revelation or whatever brings back into the fun energy. That turning of the tides brings back into the fun energy. I'm going to have to draw more cards to see where that goes. And then we got adversity on the other side. This is basically a Chariot card. So again, Cancer. So, okay. I don't know if you're dealing with an Aries. These are all major arcana, so they're going to have some signs on them. But you are on this side. Basically, I don't think the signs matter too much other than this is a Cancer card, so you. And again, this one is again looking back and looking forward, wondering what they should do. They're not really moving forward. They're waiting for this aha moment because it's still cloudy in the sky. With this Aries over here, it doesn't have to be Aries, but just someone who's defensive. These two cards are in the middle. These two cards are in between you. This revelation is in between you. And I know I was saying that you could help them, they need to heal, all that earlier. But with how this is laying, until this moment happens, you're separate. It's how this is feeling. And there's this moment, you're already past this moment. Okay, you're already in a playful place. You're already in a happy place. And if you're the one who's defensive, this could always be vice versa, but they're already in a happy place. But because Cancer was on this side of the table, I'm going to assume that you're over here and they're over here, whoever you're trying to get more involved with. I'm going to tilt that down a little more. Maybe pull these back. There we go. To see you're over here, they're over here, divided. Defensive energy. Like I said, I'm going to assume this is you, but this could be you. This moment, I feel like this is what you need to hear right here, so pay attention. This moment right here, has nothing to do with you. Or has nothing to do with them. There is nothing you can do to make this moment happen. This moment is just going to be like a snap into place realization for them. Whoever's on this side of the board, it's a snap into place. Just, oh shit, I've been wrong type of thing. There is nothing you can do. So do not push for this clarity to happen because they'll have to find it on their own. Now, it's okay to do things to help a person who needs healing. It is perfectly fine. But don't hurt yourself trying to heal someone else. Okay. I kind of feel like these are going to be... I was going to use these, but I think I'm going to use them in the extended reading, actually, because these cards just keep calling to me. So... I've been curious about this lunar dragon this whole time, so this aha moment. So what? Okay, we got the Fool here. This person needs to come to terms with starting over at 0. See, the Fool is 0. But the Fool is also the start of a new journey. And the sun is setting on an old, and you can go into the new. Whoever needs this, again, they're standing alone. They have to let go of the past pain. They have to let go of all this insecurity, of all this hate. I wasn't going to say hate, but hate seemed like the right word. Of all this hatefulness, of all this, feels like they're holding a grudge. And they have to let it go because it's affecting how they treat other people. And that's why I think this is like this, because it's like, okay, be careful about how this is This feels like a person who's healing. They're in a lot of pain, but they're also taking it out on other people. Again, I think you might be dealing with an Aries because of that goat, but this looks like a marriage. I just heard like a marriage falling apart, like, or just a really strong union, something that really mattered to them. So something they were really passionate about, and it didn't go the way they planned. It didn't go the way they planned. I'm saying they weren't much planners, but they actually made this a plan. Like, they were ready. Like I said, a marriage falling apart here. And they didn't realize, like, there's no walls here. There's just a little stick roof, basically. You can push that shit over. They didn't realize how flimsy the union was, because they were celebrating like it was, a fortress. So, with this card, again, you can be nice to them, but I feel like this is them, this is you. You can be nice to them, you can be with them, okay. What was popping out to me is she can get herself out of this situation. She can get herself out of this situation. She needs to get herself out of this situation. And it's almost like she's just staying there right in the middle. She's content. She's waving like no big deal. Like, just, she's acting like all these emotions, all these things she's feeling just aren't there when they're there. And she's almost over her head in it. You're grounded. You're on dry land. Again, this could be flipped, but you're on dry land here. Don't go reaching to help them, because they're just going to drag you in. Like, I can just see them, like, pulling you into their emotional baggage. Like, I know you want these beautiful flowers, the beautiful cups, but you gotta wait. You gotta wait until they're grounded as well. Like, it feels like there's an interest here. You've caught each other's eye. It does. But they're still going through it. They're going through a lot. So I would just say be careful with this. Okay, so let's go with the Imperial Dragon. They have to learn to fight their own battles, to defend themselves too. It kind of feels like they feel like they're being robbed, because I do think they need to fight their own battles and defend themselves, but they're fighting their internal battles here. And what this is about, I thought of the regular Seven of Wands, where it's basically like a thief stealing from you. But this one, they still have all the staffs right here. What they need to do is lay it down. They're almost, and it seems like they're almost done. Because I was actually thinking, timeline-wise, like, is this almost there? They've let go of most of it. They're still holding on to something, though. I don't know what they're holding on to, but they're still holding on to something and they're not ready to let it go yet. And that doesn't necessarily mean the person. It could just be the pain. It could be like, if they cheated, then it's like they just keep talking about how they cheated on them. And it's not that they want to be with them, it's that it really hurt to get cheated on. And it like shook them emotionally because they thought they had a stable structure here. And then they're like, oh, so you're just going to go out and do that? So they haven't really released the grudge, and that's something they need to do. And you got the Seven of Cups over here. Be wary of like fake stability is what I feel with that. Like this face on the card, the smile just looks so fake to me on this. Like, I don't think it usually does, but in this case it does. So they may come ready to offer and just being like, yeah, I feel that, you know, but maybe they really haven't. And with this side of Temperance, it's okay to have their back. It's okay to be there for them, but see how the line is at the back of them. They need to balance themselves out. They need to get themselves grounded. This is internal work that they have to do. This is their struggle. And I feel like I have to keep reiterating that because it's like you probably just really want to help them and you feel bad for them. And that's so sweet, Cancer, but it's okay to give a helping hand, but you can't do everything for them. And don't let yourself get hurt trying to help. Okay, so I think at this point, I'm going to go ahead and get the extended reading cards out. Let's see where this is going. If we end it here and you guys don't go to the extended reading, well, I still appreciate y'all coming. Please comment and like. That shit makes my day. Subscribe if you haven't. If you go to Vimeo, well, hell, I appreciate that too. Okay. Sorry, my computer was talking about restarting, and I'm like, not right now, I'm recording. So, where does this belong? Okay, this belongs with the Aries card, with the defensive side. The protect the wild green is what came out here. So they're working on healing. This is what this card tells me. They are working on healing because this person is surrounded by healing energy. They're figuring out their worth. They're figuring out their time. But at the same time, because they are still healing, they still have their sword up. They are still, it's like, don't no one interrupt my healing process right now because, like, I'm already fucked up. Excuse my language, but I'm already fucked up and ain't no one gonna fuck me up even more. Like, they're worried if they let someone in, especially right now when they're at their lowest, that they're just gonna go lower. Okay. Definitely. Time to reflect here. This person has to come to terms with their own emotions, with their own anger, sadness. They have to really feel it, and then they have to let it go. And this is on them. And like I said, if you're on that side, then that's on you, and you need to release it before you actually try to get deeper involved. But this whole reading has had like Cancer on a more positive note and someone else on a aggressive note. So that's why I've been mainly going from that perspective. Okay. So again, here's the time to reflect card. It's a really pretty card. I like it. Okay. So, now for your side, the side that basically was warning you to be careful. This card just jumped. Alright. And you're waiting for that aha moment. Basically saying, like, staying still gives you anxiety, but you're still, like, looking back. Look, if you want to wait for them, you want to wait for them. That's okay. But it's kind of like they're not ready to move forward, so you shouldn't push it, kind of thing. Like, let them heal. That's why, if you're trying to, like, make this into a thing, if you try to push them too much, you probably end up pushing them away, and you've probably already seen that, and it hurts your feelings, and you end up being like, why don't they like me? It's more of they're scared to get hurt again, and they need time to heal. They need time. They got their guard up right now. Their guard is up. So you just got to take it a little bit at a time. They got to heal on their own. If this is something you want, it is perfectly okay if it's not what you want. It is not your responsibility to heal someone else. Everyone needs to heal themselves. It's okay to lend a helping hand, but if you do all the work, then you just watch it unravel. And know your fears. So, I feel like that's basically all I just talked about with this know your fears. If you decide to wait on them, you need to know they're not in a good place. You need to know you can't be too attached to them at this point. You need to know that they're not ready to attach yet. And that's not necessarily saying that they are just going to go be with anyone they want to be with. I don't know that for sure, but that's not to say that. It's just they need their space right now. And that's perfectly fine for them to have their space. You also need to, sometimes fears are, especially when it's anxiety based, are eased by conversation. Don't be too pushy with the conversation, you know? Don't be too, do you even like me? Do you even like where is this going? Don't be too pushy, like trying to get more of a relationship out of them right now. But it's okay to have conversations about like enjoying each other's company and like how do you feel? Like it's okay for that. Just don't push them too hard to really dig into their emotions about you. Don't push them too hard to cling to you. Don't push them too hard to attach because right now there's an attraction here. I saw it in, I believe it's still on the table. I saw it on this card. There is an attraction here. They are interested. It feels like they're interested, but because of the pain, the thought of attaching just hurts them. Okay, guys. So basically, just be patient with them if this is what you want to do. Know it's going to take time if this is what you want to do. If this is what you want to do. Anyway, so now we're going to go to Vimeo for the extended read. I'm going to put that in the description. And like I said before, if this is where it ends, I still appreciate y'all watching. Have a great day.